And we are live. Okay, hello everybody. It's been a while. Sorry for the ominous entrance to this video. I'm actually just to the side of the sidewalk. We're actually right now in uh, Tāi-lí, Taili or Dali, and we're going to take a nice little walk to the river. So first, I want to take you guys into some back streets. We'll do a little bit of back street exploring. Eventually, we will get to a market. And then finally, hopefully to the river. But, as you can see, nice day, beautiful day. A little bit noisy in this area, but it's a cool area. There's a lot of old buildings and historic restaurants. So let's see. All right, let's take a little detour into some of these side streets. I think for me personally, I feel the most interested kind of exploring and looking at these side streets. You can see there's so much to find. There's so many narrow pathways, and yeah, it's never ceased to be interesting to me. Okay, we're gonna cut through quickly. Yeah, as you could tell, this is very residential. Um, well, not feels it is. It's a very residential area, and I was actually just walking through here a little bit before starting our recording. And yeah, I could sense that a lot of these residents have probably been living in and around these narrow streets for a long time. I think let's try it this way. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear, but somebody is practicing the piano. Well, practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. I hope they keep at it. But yeah, I can tell you personally that my area where I live is a lot different. There, you don't really get this. You don't really get these skinny alleyways with old homes, and you can even see a lot of the residents are elderly. Well, this right here, if you can get a sense, is a new building, but yeah, besides that, it's an old neighborhood. There's something comforting about the old neighborhoods around Taiwan. I think especially for me, you hear a lot of Taiwanese speakers, right? And well, this is a language that really means a lot to me. Okay, we're gonna get out of the alleyways and we're gonna start heading towards the market. But yeah, for me, this is a language that I care about deeply. So yeah, when I hear speakers, it's a warm feeling, definitely. All right. I do want to stress, if we get lost on this stream, and let's say that we don't make it to the river, I apologize. This is this is an area I haven't really been to often, so I am exploring with you guys. We are exploring together. All right. Well, I almost just got hit by that car. I don't know if you could feel it in the video, but it came extremely close to me. Yeah, I felt the wind on my elbow. Yeah. Okay, let's keep at it. But yeah, I don't want to, be too negative as we do our stream and we enjoy this walk, because there's a lot of cool things to see. I'm sure you guys can really feel it. But it is definitely, I think if we do, there we go, that's a nice view. It is definitely a fact that has to be said, and I think in many of my walking videos you will feel it. The traffic environment in Taiwan is not really the best. It's, oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Love it. Yeah, it's not especially the best environment, and Taichung especially, or Taitiong, we'll refer to it in Taiwanese, Taitiong especially, is very well, it ranks as the worst. It's the most users of vehicles, and you really get a sense of that when you walk around. You will oftentimes be one of the few people, if not the only person, walking around. So even on our walk already, we've seen some people walking. That's very reassuring. And it's simply just because the Taitiong traffic is it's just not as safe as it could be. So yeah, we'll do our best to avoid getting hit. over to the side of us, there's a nice little market you could see. Really cool market. In fact, I somehow feel like we should check it out a bit. Should we? I feel the camera and the phone will attract some attention, but I think it's okay. You know, we're tourists here, right? We're exploring. Let's do it. Okay, join me through the market. Here we go. I'm not going to lie. I feel a little bit hungry after passing through there. And there goes. Yeah, there goes that opportunity to grab some snacks. Some of the fruits. Oh, some of the fruit looked amazing just now. Yeah, I won't lie. A part of me wishes I could just go back and buy a few things. It's really cool. You know, this market, I have to say, from my side of Taichung, a lot of people don't necessarily know about it, but I saw it on Google Maps that it is a, you know, top spot in the city, top destination. So yeah, I can see why. Good market. A lot of the older neighborhoods will have some good day markets or fruit markets, or you could say wet markets, I guess. Actually, in my neighborhood, we have a really good day market as well. But I think this one's a bit better and more exciting. The thing about the one in my neighborhood is they close. It's truly a morning market rather than a day market. They close usually around 1 p.m. every day. So you just get a bit of a chance to see, and then they close. Alright, we're going to try to cross the street here. There's no cars coming this way. Okay. Alright. Now it is time to make our way towards the old street. See if we can find it. There is Tāi-lí, Dali, Dali. Guess yeah. There's a Taili old street somewhere around here. But yeah, for my Taiwanese speakers who may be listening or watching this stream, nani tiao u chok serang gong dai, chok serang, ngan tiao chok serang gong dai, si song kuai la, si kimochi giang, eh, eh, 底价的，你当听到有真正的路人，真正的台湾人。Anyways. Let's keep on here. Wow, okay, you have to take a look at this very quickly. Look at these old buildings through this alleyway. Interesting. Another thing you will see in Taiwan, for better or worse, some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. I personally have mixed feelings, but you will see a lot of gated balconies. The reason for that is quite dark. In the old days, Taiwan was pushed into, we can just say, a really dark time. You know, they had an authoritarian era under essentially an invasive dictatorship. And because of that, there was a lot of crime at that time, unfortunately. Oh, you can see the sunset. Look at that. Just over there. Very beautiful. Yeah, at that time there was a lot of crime, and that included home robberies. And to protect their valuables, a lot of people had to put up gates on their balconies, and that ended up becoming a standard. So as even the newer homes in the 60s were built, one of the features to advertise, to promote, was gated balconies. And to this day, it's permeated and become a part of the culture. There's a lot of strange things like that in Taiwan, where the origin is quite sad, and it comes from this specific dark time. But it has somehow, embedded itself into and become part of the culture. Some people, they will even take pride in it. And yeah, I'm not so sure people take pride in the gated balconies, but it is an aspect that, people are aware of, and some people like it, some people don't. But ultimately, you just get used to it. I can tell you, though, the first time I was ever visiting Taiwan before moving and living here, it definitely stood out to me, because it's a complicated feeling. Because I think it does make buildings look very ugly, and I think it makes the atmosphere around look very ugly. But there's something interesting and unique to ugliness. I don't know. It's just urban and raw, and there's something fascinating about that. quite interesting. Alright, let's cross. I think we are going the right way. I think so. But again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm exploring with you. And of course, ultimately our goal is to get to the river. So we'll see if we can do it. Yeah, and I don't really have a map to look at because my phone is my map. And my phone is what's recording our little walk. But I have to admit, I really enjoy doing these. The first time I did one, I had a lot of technical difficulties and my gimbal just kept crashing. But this is going a lot more smoothly. A lot more smoothly. I think eventually as I get used to this, I can make sure it's going smooth. I will move to doing live streams. I think doing a nice live stream recording would be really fun because it is as is, right? It is what it is. Whatever I say, whatever we do, whatever we see is live and you guys can join me. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. But of course it will come as I grow the channel as well. But eventually I want to do that. I can tell you guys personally, when I watch these kind of walking videos, I tend to watch them at night, or even sometimes just simply put it in the background when I'm doing work, and it can be quite peaceful. But I think Taiwan is a different beast for this because there's so much motor traffic. And you know, one of the unique and cool aspects of Taiwan is the amount of motorcycle drivers. You know, it could be a nuisance, but it's overall it's very cool aesthetic. But it does make it very tough for. It does make it very tough for. I don't know, making a peaceful walk experience, because you think about it, and I just imagine if I was watching this before going to bed and might make things difficult. Okay, let's see. I think we are going the right way. We're going to cross here. Yeah, we are going the right way. But I'm not so confident where the river would be from here. So we'll see. But I think I see the train, to be honest. Or where the train would pass. I think I just saw that. And I'm looking at the sun. You guys will find this funny. But I'm getting back to our primitive Boy Scout, our scout techniques. But I look at the sun is setting, and I thought, okay, the sun sets to the east. So where would be east, and how does that correlate to where is south? And I know we have to go south to get to the river. And so that's kind of how I'm figuring it out. If that is the case, we'll see now that we're walking. That means just now we were walking the wrong way, which is not good. But we'll see. We'll try to get to the river some way, somehow. I think for this stream, we're going to get to about an hour and a half. I want to do about an hour and a half. I think that will be fine. So still have plenty of time. We're just 1/3 of the journey. Wait a second. Wait a second. I just realized uh, my Boy Scout intuition is off. Right? Wait a second. The sun rises from the east. Right? Okay, like if we think of Japan, and this is the origin of the sun, this is in the east, so the sun sets in the west. So if the sun sets in the west, okay, we walked the wrong way. we walked the wrong way. We gotta go back. At least we figured this out together. But we walked the wrong way. Let's go back. Actually, we before were making a good track to getting to the river, and we started going the wrong way, I think. So let's go back. I wonder if what I thought was the train is actually just a freeway that's running along the river. That could very well be the case. Ultimately, I want to get us to some smaller alleyways, so it's a little bit more quiet and we can kind of enjoy. But yeah, this is a busy area. It really is. And in all honesty, it's a nice area. I could tell you a little backstory about Tāi-lí. Is when I first started with my company, they sent me to do training here. I think it's just because I was fresh, but specifically the area where the training was located, when the bus dropped me off, and it was at night, I must have just been tired. There was no sidewalks, and I remember comparing it to rock bottom. Any of you guys, if you've ever watched SpongeBob, any SpongeBob enthusiasts in the crowd watching the stream, well, you will know that rock bottom is a reference to an episode in SpongeBob where he has to deliver a pizza, I believe it is, and he gets stuck in this area and realizes that this is actually like a really creepy area, because in the ocean, the deeper you get, the more exotic the sea creatures. And so anyways, I compared it to rock bottom, and yeah, since then I've come back here a few times, never to this exact area, and every time I come I think it's actually quite a cool and busy area, and it certainly has its own vibe. It's technically part of Taitiong, but I don't know, I always feel like it kind of has its own thing going on. You could easily imagine Tāi-lí, right? Dali city. Okay. Alright, I'm feeling it. I think we are really we are cooking here. I think we're on the right track. Starting to cool down a bit. I'm not sure if that's because it's becoming the evening, we're transitioning to evening, or if once again my Boy Scout intuitions are correct and we are getting closer to the river and the water is cooling the air. Let's see. judging off the setting sun, if that intuition is correct, then we are actually walking west right now, or kind of like southwest, when we actually need to be going south. Okay, so there's some museum of fiber arts. Oh, that's interesting. So we're close to the Museum of Fiber Arts right now, and the Dali district office. Alright. Oh, this must be the Dali Sports Complex or something like that. Wow. Incredible building. Yep, I see people working out in there. Wow, really cool. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can cross the street. But oh, it's a cool area. You can even see some really cool place to eat. And I think we can walk, but we have to just be cautious of our surroundings. Let's just go for it and get across. And we'll keep walking this way. It's really interesting to see, and it's a common phenomenon in Taiwan, and it's something I'm sure I will mention in many live streams that I choose to do here. The contrast of, we'll walk through this park. The contrast of new development and old development is quite fascinating. The old development was done in a rush with not the best practices or standards. So I think that's why it gives the quote-unquote ugly aesthetic. Well, there's two elements of old. Three elements, we could say. There's this kind of fast-paced, when the economy was developing under the early days of the Republic of China. And I would say these are the biggest eyesores, I think we could say. I think that's fair to say. These are the biggest eyesores. And then there is the Japanese era buildings, which a lot of them are stunning. They are absolutely stunning and have stood the test of time. And then you have Qing Dynasty era buildings and kind of early Hokkien settlement buildings, like the early history. And of course, in some historic sites you have Spanish or Dutch buildings. And those ones are also beautiful, really beautiful, even when they're in ruins. Even the ones that are dilapidated and just hanging on to life. Very fascinating, and you can feel the history. And yeah, I think quite beautiful. And then, okay, then there's the modern buildings and sidewalked areas and all of that. And I can honestly tell you, Taiwan has done an excellent job in modernizing. The modern buildings you see, modern apartments throughout the entire country, not just Taitiong, but even Tāi-lí, even Tāi-bác, Taitong, all these areas. Hualien. Everyone that I've been to, oh, here's a river. So, you know, Taitiong is very famous for its rivers. It's a nice one. Yeah, but I want to say every area that I've been in, they've done an excellent job in the design, the standard, and the overall aesthetic of modern buildings. And to that fact, I think in renovating old buildings, they've also done an excellent job. That's why I often say that from an aesthetic and development standpoint, I think Taiwan's future is very bright. So sometimes you do these walks, right, and you see old tin eyesores. But you know, just based on the path that we're going on, that it seems all right. It seems like things will be okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. Hold on just 1 second, guys. I have to fix my bag. I guess as I was setting up the stream, I did not fully close my bag. Okay. Yeah, quite interesting. Actually, someone, you know, people are very nice. Someone actually stopped their car just to tell me that my bag is open. Very nice. Apologize for that, guys. But we're back on track. To the river we go. I think this is a bit of a busy street, so I'm going to be quiet for a bit. Just let you guys enjoy some nice motorcycle sounds. Or, hey, no sounds at all. How about that? This is a busy street, but let me just say I'm very much enjoying these sidewalks. So nice. Another thing I can tell you guys is, oh yeah, I think we are close to the river. I see it looks like a bridge, a very big bridge. Okay, I think we're in business. Our scout intuition has paid off. I think so. We're very close. But yeah, what I wanted to say is something I'm learning from both last stream and this one, which is going even longer, is it's kind of tough to hold the gimbal for this long, and I'm wondering if it's necessary for me to put myself through this. Somebody I really like to watch, who will do walking videos, has a very interesting method. He uses a GoPro. I'm using my phone, but he will use the GoPro and it's monopod, very small monopod, right? And he will attach it to his backpack. So how will he do that? He will get one of those, you know, like a pocket knife case or something like that, but one that can clip on to his backpack sleeve, and that will hold down the camera and stabilize it. And then he will just... Are we on the right track? Yeah, we're on the right track. We're on the right track. Yeah, and then he will just walk. Simply walk, hands-free, and have a nice stable image from basically coming from his chest. And you know, GoPro does a good job of having a wide angle. I think this is a good method because, yeah, your arm will be less tired by the end of something like that. And not only that, but when you have the gimbal, if you guys are curious, and you walk around holding it, you do get a lot of stares. So you've probably noticed, even on this journey, many of the people we walked past have stared at me, stared into the camera, and you can't blame them. I think I would do the same. It's not a normal sight when someone is holding a gimbal and recording and walking. It's a bit unusual, so you can't help but look. So I cannot blame them. This is a pretty cool street entrance, though. You can see it, the double dragon. I cannot blame them, but if you could avoid that, it'd be better. And yeah, this person that I like to watch, when he does that, it doesn't really seem like he's recording so much. And if you look down here, you can see a Domino's, by the way. Yeah, not looking too bad. Kind of just want to cross the street. This is a long light. But yeah, another thing is people don't necessarily know that you're recording, so you can get away with it. I think you can get away with just walking around making your video, and people will just walk past. They won't think too much of it because, all right, busy road again, and we have to wait, see how we can do it. Maybe we should just walk down this street. Let's try walking down this street. Yeah, but I want to say, because it's discreet. You just can't really see the camera so well, and if you see it, you just think it's, you know, stationed there for later use. You don't see that it's actually recording. So something for me to think about definitely is using a method like that. But I do think on a gimbal, with your hands, you have a bit more control. There's been a few times I've been able to swing the camera and just smoothly track, so win-win. Maybe I just have to get big. I have to start working out it seems like my forearm. It seems like what hurts the most. Shoulder as well. I guess that comes from it just being in one place for a long time, right? These muscles being held in one position for a long amount of time. That must be what's strenuous. But cool old temple, huh? I think you guys will appreciate this. Very cool. Something very similar in both Taiwan and Japan that you will see, or that I've noticed. Yeah, this is not leading anywhere. Let's go back. There's a nice bigger view of that temple. Yeah, something I quite enjoy that you will find both in Japan and Taiwan is just small street temples. You could sometimes even go down alleyways, and then all of a sudden you see a temple. Of course, the aesthetics of the temples are completely different, but the nature of how to find them is let's cross the street so we're on this side to make it easier over there. Yeah, it's mostly the same, and it's quite fascinating. I think it's one of my favorite parts of both places. Okay, let's admit, with the setting sun, this double dragon kind of neighborhood entrance is pretty badass. I'm not going to lie, it is pretty cool. Look at that. So cool. It's so cool. Alright. Let's get back on track. I'm pretty sure we have almost made it to the river. I have the strongest sense of this. Now let's hope I am correct, because if I am not, then I walked us out into the middle of nowhere. And I will have to apologize to everyone for that. Wow. Look at this one. Epic eatery. Huh. Huge. No, that's the river. That is totally the river. You guys will see. It's my first time making it to this river, by the way. I'm very excited about it. I love, one of my favorite things, and the reason why I'm living in Taitiong at this time, is strictly the rivers. I think it is green. I think we are okay to go. So let's just do it, but let's be very careful. And this one is a huge river, very famous river. We are almost there. Come on, show us the river. Show us the river. Oh yeah, can you guys see it? Just green and beautiful, and we're making it just in time for the sunset. And now we have to get to the other side of this river and then walk a bit, and apparently, from what I've researched, we will be met with absolutely stunning scenery. But of course we are, there we go. We are racing the sun a bit. We might make it to the spot to where we cannot see so well. But let's just take a minute right here to stop a bit and enjoy this. Yeah, that is awesome. Beautiful rivers run through Taitiong, run through Taiwan. Everywhere you go, you're more likely to see gorgeous rivers. Now, of course, from an urbanist perspective, you could argue that the areas surrounding the rivers could be a bit better. But I think with this kind of space for just a natural ecosystem, with the green, wow, you can even see some people down there. Do you see them? Yeah, with the just huge amounts of green, and even have little streams running through it. This kind of ecosystem is perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. Oh yeah, look at that. Love it. Love it. I just want to say, anyone who has joined me on this journey, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this. It's been fun. It's been fun to discover. And I think we have yet to see the best part. So let's cross the street here, continue along the river, and let's go find that best part. Let's enjoy it as the sun sets. Perhaps we'll still get a beautiful night view. It's very, very possible. I wonder, I see there's a stairway that goes down into the river. And I'm wondering if we should take it. I'm a little bit worried about it and like what we will find down there as far as bats. Mostly bats. But I think we should do it. We should do it. Oh yeah, there's so many bats. Hey. Hey. I don't know. Okay, maybe we'll get to the other side. We'll get to the other side and then we will go for it. Okay, can we cross? No, we have to cross. We have to go down. We have to face the bats. It's the only way. It's the only way. Ah, it's so beautiful. Oh. I won't lie to you, with the setting sun and then the river, that neon lit restaurant we passed kind of looks pretty badass as well. Alright, let's enter the bat paradise and bug. But that's what comes along with the river. If you are a true river lover, I think you just have to appreciate that. But I'm not going to talk too much. I don't want any of these little bugs getting into my face, but I will talk enough to make my presence felt, so there just doesn't happen to be any accidents with bats not being able to know that I'm here, which that's not how their sonar works, by the way. Not at all. But in my mind it sounds right. So yeah, okay, we made it to the other side. I'm actually feeling like our timing is perfect. I think our timing is perfect to see some interesting points of the river just before the sun goes down. One thing I will mention from a technical aspect, I imagine as I render this video out, the quality might not be as magnificent as it could be. And I do have to admit, my phone is getting old. My phone does shoot in 4K, but it's getting old. I'm actually shooting on a Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Incredible phone, incredible photography, incredible videography. but as it ages, I think it just cannot compete with some of the other options and other things that people are using to make these kinds of videos. So yeah, that's something for me to consider for the future. And if you're wondering, that being said, I do still think the quality is quite nice, especially for a walking video. And I think it's quite convenient for me to be able to just use my phone for these kind of videos. It's quite fascinating as well. I just want to say, when we started the stream, we were like right in the Tāi-lí busy area, right? And to go from that Tāi-lí busy area to nature, really. Of course, over on this side is still quite urban, but we're not really hearing motorbikes anymore. We're not getting that same traffic, and we're not seeing many people. So this kind of serenity is a bit strange and a bit of quite a big contrast, to be honest, compared to just 30 minutes ago, right? Some little bit of history for you guys if you didn't know. But during the Japanese government era, when they were planning the city of Taitiong or Taichung at this time, they said that it reminded them a lot of Kyoto, and that they wanted to make it the Kyoto of Formosa. And when you see a lot of these rivers and greenery and shrub and the beautiful views and the mild temperature, you can really understand why that is. But when you see the urban cluster that the main city areas have become since then, you kind of question that comparison completely. But every time I'm around one of the major rivers flowing through, even some of the small rivers that flow through the downtown areas, I get it. I can feel a sense of that, and it definitely gives me some flashbacks of when I was staying in Kyoto. But I would say that most likely Tainan, from a Taiwan perspective, or Dali, is probably the true Kyoto of Taiwan. The reason being is history was once the capital, right? These similar comparisons. Was once the capital, has many historic buildings, preserves the traditional culture, maybe the best of any big city, and also has its very beautiful elements. There's a big river that runs through Tainan as well. I don't know if you guys can see it so well, but this bridge, oh, there we go. There they are, we missed them. This bridge is full of cars passing this greenery in this river, and I'm not going to lie to you, it actually looks really cool. I like it a lot. It's a really cool view. This whole area is awesome. And what we're walking on is actually a bike path, a dedicated bike path. So I think it'd be really awesome to bike the honestly, it'd be awesome to bike the duration of this river. You can really see this in Taitiong. They are doing a good job of adding more and more bike lanes. They just haven't moved on to that big step of dedicated bike lanes running through veins of the main city. But definitely some interesting trails. There's often bike lanes. I would say each major river, which there's quite a lot of, has dedicated bike lanes next to it. And the train lines have dedicated bike lanes below them. And then there's just some dedicated lanes and pathways through more rural areas or smaller city areas. I hear fireworks, but I cannot see them. Oh, I see them a bit. Do you guys see them? See, right there in the middle of the screen. Can we zoom? Let's try zooming in. Oh, we can, but it's a horrendous look. Another thing I love about Taiwan is people are always just setting off fireworks. It just always seems to be happening for no apparent reason. Maybe a team won or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, we were talking about bike lanes, right? I do see a lot of progress, and I hope that they can. Oh, Neko-chan, Neko-chan, hello. 你好啊。哦，足夠醉啦。So cute. But honestly, guys, I think we're nearing our destination. I once again just want to thank you for joining me. I have to admit, I'm finding some kind of passion in doing these kind of walking videos. Life is very hectic and confusing, especially around my age, I would say, but any age, I think. And for us especially, we have all these distractions, and it's so hard to just maintain focus. And I think just walking and talking, and for me it's almost like a friend joining me. You guys are the friends joining me. Has been really good for me, and it's really helped me to just feel great. So I definitely have to say thank you to you guys. And now we're getting a beautiful sunset. Look at that. Yes. We talked about the quality of some buildings, but overall, when you see the nature of Taiwan, you realize that it is a stunningly beautiful island. Stunningly beautiful. And it's an absolute privilege. Every time you get to go out and explore, get away from everything, it is an absolute privilege to experience. There I am. You guys see me? Have you? I guess you guys have started to see me more and more because the light's coming from my back. Oh, there I am, guys. You can see my shadow a bit. Ready? Hello, everybody. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I went through this phase. Oh, look at that. I went through this phase where I thought, you know, it would be really cool to be a police officer, but for a very particular and peculiar reason. I thought because police officers get to patrol, and in some countries they get to patrol on foot, right? Like in Hong Kong, for example, most police officers you see are patrolling on foot. And I thought, how cool would that be if your job every day was just to explore, just to walk around, get a little bit of exercise, and explore and help people if need be. So yeah, it was a very interesting reason to want to be a police officer. But in fact, you know, you could just do that, just could explore, right? You don't have to be a police officer. But in my mind, I thought, oh, but you're getting paid to explore. That sounds great. So calm. River is so calm. I love that it's just reflecting the night sky. I would say that this was overall a success. I think this time we did a really good job. First stream, it was a lot of problems. I was stumbling with my speech. I think I was talking too much and too loudly. And we went through areas that honestly didn't look as good on video as I had hoped. But this one is much better. I think this has gone really well. Well, I can say personally, I've enjoyed it. And cool little street to this side to let you know that we still are right in an urban environment. We are still there. Okay, somehow it seems like we lost our focus a bit. You guys sense that? I think it should just be, it's getting a bit too dark for my camera. But yeah, I think we've seen a lot of the river, and we actually walked a long way. You can see it. Beautiful. Super beautiful. Anyways, guys, I feel like this might be a good area to wrap it up in. So, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this Taitiong uh, walk, right? Taitiong Sambo. It's been very nice. I enjoyed this view. I enjoyed the walk, and I enjoyed having some friends with me. So on that regard, 再会，またね，拜拜。